Welcome to the round 18 episode of Lachie's weekly footy roundup, and we're heading towards the business end of the season. We take a look at the results for the week when I was away in Melbourne with Zach, Sam and Jordan. North Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium. The Kangaroos got off to a pretty good start for their centenary. And then the Western Bulldogs ran away with it after half time to win by 49 points. North showed some signs of improvement from that nearly 100-point loss against Hawthorn the previous week. Carlton and Collingwood at the MCG. Carlton lose by 56 points. Well, second. I did a bit of commentary in that game on my Instagram story. And I got a fair few views out of that. Well, it wasn't even that close as well in Perth, with GWS getting up by 59 points against the Eagles. Essendon and Gold Coast at Marvel Stadium. Well, the Suns got up by 41 points. That's back-to-back wins against Essendon at Marvel. Geelong and Richmond at GMHBA Stadium. 72-point win for the Cats. Brisbane and the Power at the Gabba. Brisbane Lions got up by 28 points. Saints and Sam Powell-Pepper's season is over with an ACL injury. Brisbane ran away with that game after they were trailing at one stage. Saints and Hawthorn at Marvel Stadium. It was a close game. Hawthorn by 20 points. The Saints came back a bit in the last quarter. Sydney and Fremantle at the SCG. Swans get the job done by 11 points. Meanwhile, the last game of the round was at Adelaide Oval between the Crows and Melbourne. The Crows got up by 13 points. And Melbourne at one stage were up by 28. Now for the ladder after round 17. Well, September's practically confirmed for Collingwood. While for Brisbane, Adelaide, Geelong and Hawthorn, it's a 2-point gap between them in second. The Lions are currently up by 2 points, with the Lions leading by 2 points. The Crows are in third on percentage. Western Bulldogs, there's not much of a gap between 6th and 9th, with Western Bulldogs, Gold Coast, GWS and Fremantle occupying those spots. The Western Bulldogs move up to 6 on percentage. Well, the Sydney Swans are in 10th. They've got a fair bit of catching up to do. Port Adelaide are in 11th. Well, their season's pretty much over. 12th is Carlton. Season's definitely over. Same with Essendon, who are 13th. Carlton are 12th on percentage. 14th, we got Melbourne. And they're tied with St Kilda in 15th. Melbourne are currently 14th on percentage. Well, they could potentially slip if they lose to North. 16th, we got the Kangaroos. Well, if they beat Melbourne this week, well, and St Kilda lose to the Swans, well, we could see North Melbourne out of the bottom 3. 17th, we got Richmond. And I think, well, West Coast, they're almost practically confirmed for the Wooden Spoon. And now for the prediction. Carlton versus Brisbane at Marvel Stadium. I reckon the Lions will likely get up in this one by 41 points. Gold Coast and Collingwood at People First Stadium. Well, I'm calling an upset. I reckon the Gold Coast will get up by 5 points. Like, in the words of Childish Day's wife, you are grounded until Collingwood lose matches of footy. Western Bulldogs versus Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. Well, could this be the afternoon the Dogs' winning run comes to an end? I reckon both sides are in form. Well, I think Adelaide could potentially get up by a point. GWS and Geelong at Edgy Stadium in Sydney. I reckon GWS will likely get up by 27 points. Richmond and Bunners at the MCG. The battle of the out-of-form teams. Well, I reckon Richmond could get up for Sam Lalai. I'm picking the Tigers might get up by 10 points in an upset. Fremantle and Hawthorn at Optus Stadium. It's evenly matched. I reckon Fremantle will win. I reckon Fremantle might win that game by, 2 points. This will be Lloyd Meeks' first game back at Optus Stadium against his old side since he left Fremantle. Melbourne versus North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium at MCG. North Melbourne are playing pretty good footy at the G as of late. I reckon they'll make it 3 in a row at the ground. I reckon the Kangaroos will get up by 21 points. And I've got a message for Andrew Dillon. Give North Melbourne at least one home game at the MCG. It's not that hard. They're a Melbourne side as well. St Kilda and Sydney at Marvel Stadium. Well, I've got a feeling the safe bet. I reckon the Swans will get up by 29 points. Power versus West Coast at Adelaide Oval. I reckon Power will get up by 60 points. And that will wrap up the round 18 prediction episode. And now we'll be getting ready for round 19 next week. And then in round 20 for the Showdown edition, I've got a couple of special guests coming on for the show. That is my cousin Nikki and her partner Henry. And hopefully they bring another friend through as well. And that will wrap up the episode.